First and foremost, before I begin this camp session, I'd like to turn to the east and give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wakakadash. Before I begin this camp session, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do away on Tito, man, and have the 144% truth of this Bible, man, which regards of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the true chosen people of Israel, man. I want to open up with just the book of Joel, chapter 3. I'm going to start at the top, man. Let me get the book of Joel real quick. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. The heading of chapter 3, the heading reads, "The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will rescue his people." And it reads, Joel chapter 3, verse 1, it reads, "For behold," it's Joel chapter 2, man. I'll go into Joel chapter 3 here in a little bit, but I wanted to open up with the book of Joel chapter 2, verse 1, and the heading on this one means the day of the Lord, man. I'll wait for this part to pass by real quick. Man, it's a Saturday, man. People's out, indulging in the flesh today, man. This is what we're about to see tonight, man. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, "The day of the Lord," which is the heading. And it reads, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand." And what is the day of the Lord, man? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is about to come back and recompense his people, man. Which means he's going to come back and judge the people for all their wicked deeds, man. These people, all they like to do is indulge in the flesh, man. Do whatever they like to do. Come out here and, party. Just as we see, man, the spirit out here is heavy, man. Joel chapter 2, verse 2. And it reads, I'm going to start at verse 1 again, just to edify and go with it, man. Joel 2 and 1 reads, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand." Verse 2, "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations." And this is what we're going to see here in America, which is Babylon the Great, man. Mystery Babylon the Great whore. Because here, man, what do they got out here, man? They got the proud people, the Rainbow Coalition, the Transformers. That's heavily accepted here in America, man. Which we know that is a sin, man. Look at what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but look at what Yahweh did to Sodom and Gomorrah, man. He burnt that place with fire and brimstone because of all the wickedness that they were doing, man, of the homosexual, man laying with man, woman laying with woman, men wearing women's clothes, women wearing men's clothes. And we see that today in this day, man. We see that a lot out here, man. The other day, man, I was at the gym, right? And I always see this dude, anyways, this dude that I always see, man, he came with this chick, man. And I thought this dude came in with another dude, man, but the whole time, that dude that, that's dressed like a dude was a whole ass female, man. It's confusion, man. That's confusion, man. She had braids and everything. You know, she had little shorts, you know, but she had, you know, a white t-shirt trying to dress like like a man, man. You know, that's not, hey, that ain't what the Lord has commanded us to do, man. You know, for the Lord said it's an abomination for a man to wear women's clothing, vice versa, man, for a woman to wear man's clothing. That's not the way Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, intended things to be here, man. Job chapter 2, verse 3, it reads, oh, you know what? Let me go to, just to edify on that, man. You know, I'm roughly paraphrasing, you know, it says it is abomination to the Lord, you know, for mankind to sleep with mankind, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing, man. Just going through the spirit right now. Let me get it right quick. So like to bear with me. The book of Revelation, chapter 17. And I'm going to start at verse 1, man. And then I'll go back to Job. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1, and it reads, and this is what it reads at the heading, man. Babylon the Great. You know, which, you know, Babylon the Great is referring to America, man. And this is what, man. Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, man. You know, to edify, to break it down, man. 17 verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, is talking about these, you know, these elites, man. You know, these kings of these nations, man. You know, they were shown, you know, to do these wicked things by the way of the elites, man. You know, the things that they do in secrecy, man. Which they slowly tell you in the movies, in the media, man. You know, because media goes back to medium as a part of their witchcraft, man. You know, it's called the method of revelation. You know, it's their satanic karma, which they do, man. You know, these elites, you know, they tell you in the media, you know, of how they get down, man. Like the movies Eyes Wide Shut, man. You know, it's a secret society where people go in there, man. You know, they got people freaking off in big rooms, which is called an orgy. You know, they sacrifice babies, man. Just like in the movies Monsters Inc., man. They're called subliminal messages, man. They're not gonna tell you straightforward. They're just gonna give you little clues and signs, man. You know, like in that movie, in the movies Monsters Inc., man. You know, the monsters scare the kids until that little vial fills up with red, that little red bar. But in reality, it goes back to these elites. You know, they scare these kids so much, man, that the adrenaline goes through the roof, man, and the adrenaline becomes so pure. That's when they, you know, they stick them, like they poke them in their adrenal glands, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all the straight truth, man. Just to let y'all know how wicked these devils are, man. The so-called white man, which are the elites, you know, which Amalek's a lot of it. You know, which these elites get down, man. Which Esau Edom is a so-called white man. Their chief tribe is Amalek, the Amalekites, the small hatters, the people out there that claim that they are the so-called Jews, man. The so-called, they're Jewish, man. Ish means just something of light, man. They're not really like that, man. We know they're Hebrew, but they do not have the blessing, man. You know, Esau Edom goes back to Cain. You know, Tubal Cain. You know, if your brothers may know, man, hey, that's the milk right there, man. I'm gonna go back to Babylon the Great, which is the heading of Revelations chapter 17, verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, man. What was I just talking about, man? These people dressing up, these men dressing up as women, these women dressing up as men. This is confusion, man. Babylon actually means confusion, man. This is the way of this society, man. Everything is upside down. The way that these people, operate is wicked, man. These people, and let me reread it again, Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. It's talking about the philosophy that's taught here, man. You can even look at how this government is ran, man. It goes back to Rome, man. They got the Congress, they got the Senate. This is just a reincarnation of Rome, man. 2.0. You got to understand your enemy before you go out to war, man. That's just the condition of the battle, man. You got to get your mental right. Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away with the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. This is it says, and the woman with arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold. This is talking about America, man. Babylon, that great whore. And it reads right here, with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, man. And what is this talking about, man? Just what I'm going into, When you look at these TV shows and these medias, man, what do they show you? They show you homosexuals, girl on girl, man on man. The Lord didn't intend us to be like this, man. This is what Babylon the Great, which is America, pushes, man. This is their agenda, man. And it reads, Revelation 17:5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, man. Hey, and we just see this, man, just like out there in Japan. You got these Japanese people trying to, these women, and these women of the other nations trying to be like the Kim Kardashians, man, like the Kardashians, man. That spirit, of getting plastic surgery, fixing your nose, getting your titties and your ass done. This is all by way of the elites, man. And these other countries have drunken of that cup, man, of these philosophies, of the wicked ways which America has pushed throughout the whole 4 corners of the earth. Revelation 17:6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. That's not the point, man. Verse 5, man, with the point. I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 18, man. But you know what? I'll get to that right now. I'm going to go to, just flow through the spirit right now, man. I'm gonna just go Revelations, Joel chapter 3, man, just to edify real quick. It reads, for behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Judah is going into the southern kingdom, man, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Haitians, and the so-called Jamaicans, man, the West Indians. And Jerusalem is going to the northern kingdom, which consists of, starting with the head tribe, the Ephraim, which is the so-called Puerto Ricans, all the way on down, to the Mexicans, to the so-called Mexicans, which is the tribe of Issachar, man. It says, I will bring and when it's like Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring upon the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations. I will bring them down in the valley of Jehoshaphat, of Yehoshaphat. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. You know, this is going into, you know, World War III starts, man. All these nations are going to gather up out there in the Middle East to fight World War III, man. And we're in the beginning steps of that, man. Iran and the United States are actually going at it right now. They're bombing each other, man. Iran has been bombing, bases out there in Kuwait. They've been bombing bases out there in the Middle East, man. Hey, but they ain't gonna really be telling you this out here like that. Hey, because like, man, that's a spirit. Because all I see out here, man, all these people going to the bars, going to the clubs, you know, ain't not giving a fuck, man. They're not in that spirit of really knowing, man. Hey, they're ignorant, man, and they're willingly ignorant, man. You know, they probably have passed by through one of the brothers' lessons, you know. They probably have seen the Israelites waking up, you know, little videos like that and stuff. But hey, these people ain't gonna get it, man. Anyways, Revelations 3:3, and they have, Joel 3:3, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, who ye render me a recompense? I'm gonna go on down a little bit. It's the book of Joel chapter 3 verse 9, man. I'm gonna just get straight to the point, man. Joel chapter 3 verse 9, and it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And what was I just speaking about, man? You know, Iran and the US, hey, they're going head to head right now, man. You know, that ceasefire that Trump was always saying, man. He's like, hey, there's a ceasefire, this and that. And this nigga ain't really in that spirit, man. You know, it's in the book of Psalms, man. Though his words are smooth as butter, in his heart were there drawn swords. He's gonna give you a good, I was just roughly paraphrasing that scripture, man, from Psalms. Though his mouth be smooth as butter, in his heart are drawn swords, man. This is what, Trump. This is how Trump is operating right now. So like, that's how this nigga's operating right now. You know, he's gonna tell you something sweet, a good thing. Hey, we got shit under control. You know, everything's gonna be alright. Yo, but the whole time, shit is cracking and falling down behind the scenes, man. Hey, and the brothers know this, man. The brothers in this truth, man. The apostles and elders on down, man. Hey, we understand what times we in, man. Hold on, let me before I, get this real quick. You know, we know what time we is, man. We know what time we are in, so like. Just have to get this one real quick, man. Hey, here a little, there a little, man. Like I said, man, we know what time we're in. And this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest Yahweh Bashim Shai will begin to visit the world which he made. You know, hey, we know what time we's in, man, because we see these things, man. The watchmen are looking around. They're in the news. They're telling you, brothers, of these famines that's about to come, these pestilences that's about to hit. You know, hey, we got this virus, this diarrhea, a parasite virus going around right now, man. You know, people over here, going crazy on the toilet, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and opens of the people in the world, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of us from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like, as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we're seeing these things being manifest, man. You know? I just want to speak on this real quick. You know, there's a saying in the world, man, you know, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss, man. And I've been seeing that a lot with people, man, you know, especially my own family members, man, because they know about the truth. They've heard me speak about this truth, man. But they don't want to get the nitty-gritty of the truth, man. When the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, feed me sweet things. I don't want the bitter things, man. You know, because when you first hear this truth, it's sweet like honey, man. But once it settles in your stomach, it gets bitter, man. Because you understand, hey, that the Lord is not going to come with, you know, sunshines and rainbows, man. He's not going to come with a big warm hug. The scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, I come not to meet you as a man. He's not going to come to meet you as a man. He's going to come as a sword, hey, with the whirlwind, with destruction, man. He's going to come as a whirlwind, man. Roughly paraphrasing. It's like the ages going through the spirit, man. You know, because, hey, we're ready to see this thing, man. Around the Zah, we are covered in those times. You know, that's why we're out here to keep pushing this truth, man. You know, to keep warning our people of destruction that's coming. Joel chapter 3, verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up. Verse 10, Joel chapter 3, verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. You know, because Iran is a small country, man. It's a small, you know, place. And we see them, you know, hey, they're picking up their balls, you know, as people in the world say. They're picking up their nuts, man, and walking with it, man, with their chest out, you know, chin up, man. Hey, we see these things, man. And another thing too, China and Russia and North Korea are backing them up, man. Hey, these things is about to come full-fledged, man. You know, and a lot of the apostles and elders and all the brothers, man, have been making lessons speaking about girding up thy loins. You know, prepare to see people dying in front of you, man. You know, the scriptures say a wise man meditated on death, roughly paraphrasing. You're supposed to put your mind in these things that are coming, man. You know, for all these things is about to come. And for sure it is, man. Revelations 3, I'll keep on bringing Revelation 8. Things are being revealed, man. That's just what it is, man. But this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 12, and it reads, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahushua, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You know? Let the heathen be wakened and come up in the valley of Yahushua, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. You know, that's the times that he's coming into, man. Get this real quick. You know, because all these things, you know, we're telling you these things, but hey, what are people doing? They're not taking heed. This is 2 Ezra 9 and 6. It reads, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. You know, we've been seeing a lot of more earthquakes. You know, yesterday I believe, you know, it was a 7-point-something earthquake that hit the coast of Mexico, El Salvador, and Guatemala, man, out there in the Gulf. Hey, the Lord's about to crack this bitch, man. He about to crack the skies, man. But first, we know that hey, shit's about to go down in these cities, man. 2 Ezra 9 and 8, 9 and 7. It reads, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by his faith whereby they have believed, talking about the elect, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from the for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. It's talking about the 144,000, the 1/3 of the elect of Israel, man. Because the scriptures say, 2/3 shall be cut off therein. And whatso be it that judgment shall begin at the house of the Most High, man, which starts with the 12 tribes of Israel, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from the beginning. I have sanctified them for me from the beginning, the elect. Verse 9, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. It's talking about, these 2/3 out here, man, living it up. Giving into the flesh, pleasing the flesh, man. Not worried about other things but themselves. Not taking heed, man. Verse 10, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they Salaki, man. That's the time. Second Ezra 9 and 11, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know after death by pain, man. In the book of Hebrews, man, it is a fearful thing. See if I can find it real quick. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. You don't want to be caught up with all this hits the fan, man. Bear with me real quick. So many books in my hand right now. I'm just paraphrase it, like I said. For it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. All these things is about to come through, man. Anyways, I'm just go through the spirit, man. But we know that Yahweh Shemi Awashai, is going to look out for his elect. He's going to look out for the ones that are doing his works, man, that are doing this in truth and sincerity, man, and are actually have the faith and believe, man. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, and the heading of this chapter reads faith exemplified, man. And it reads, Hebrews 11 and 1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We're going to have to come into this time, believing that Yahweh Shemi Awashai is going to deliver us from all said evils, man. What evils is that, man? The beast in the field, man. These lions that are going to escape the zoos, there's going to be creatures that nobody's ever seen before, man. What does that precept say? For ye shall, roughly paraphrasing, for ye shall be in league with the beasts of the field, man. The elect are going to have the power to command, a group of dogs to go attack somebody and kill them, man. They're going to have the power to send these death angels to go kill somebody, man. These demons that are created for torment. Like, look at the movie The Conjuring, man. Like that one nun. If people actually see that in real life, they'll have a heart attack, man. The Lord's power cannot be put in a little box, man. It's that one. it's in the GNT. It seems the Lord is a terror, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing, it's in the GNT. The Lord is a terror, man. It is a terrifying thing. That's the one. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. I think it's transferred into the GNT, and that's where you get a terror, man. The Lord was known by a terror, man. Back in the ancient times, they used to call him Al-Shadia, which means demon-like power, because these people understood, hey, back then the Lord was actually just smiting motherfuckers left and right, man. You know, obviously it's not like that in these times, but man, hey, they better see who's really on the Lord's side when all these things come to pass, man. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. You know, the point was on verse 1. You know, we gotta make sure, hey, that we have that faith, man. You know, that we're good, you know, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shine, man, that we're clothed in that white, man, that white linen, like you paraphrase it. You know? Get this real quick. Hold on, my notebook real quick. Got a couple precepts right here that I have written down we're gonna get into. You know? And that's another thing, man. We gotta adjust, you know, adjust to the times that we're in, man. You know, adjusting to the times that we're in, because, you know, man, this place is vanity, man. Well, you know, roughly saying, you know, this place, you know, is abomination, man. You know, it's like maybe light up another instance real quick. Man, there's a lot of demons out here today, bro. You know? Hey, but through the faith, man, Yahweh Shem Shine, man, we ain't scared of these people. You know, we got these hoes out here. It's lucky, man. Just gotta light another one up real quick. Got a lot of centurions out here too, man, you know. Hey, but we ain't scared, man. We ain't. Hey, the Lord's on. I don't want this eye. The Lord's on my side till the end, man. You know, got these people giving me crazy looks and shit. Hey, fuck them. So lock around to them. You know, I'm gonna open up with Mark 13 and 20, man. You know, adjusting to the times, man. Right here.
You never got a flight deal.
Like I said, you got all these spirits out here. You know, all these Jakes out here trying to be the big man. Hey, what do the apostles and others say? Hey, let these niggas have it, man. You know, let these people have it, man. You know, let these people have a good job, a good, you know, a good car, you know, good this and that, because that's all they're worried about, man. They ain't worried about the scriptures like that, man. It's the book of Mark, chapter 13, and verse 20. And you know what? Verse 17, man, because we're in these times that's coming, man. Say Mark chapter 13, verse 17. But woe to them that are with child and to them that give suck in those days. You know, because we know, hey, the Lord's about to come back with those spirits created for vengeance, man. And these people are gonna be bugged out their minds, man. Like that woman in Samaria, you know, when they were going through that famine, you know, they ate their own kids. Hey, that's what we going into, man. Mark 13, verse 18, and pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. For in those days shall be affliction, and such was not from the beginning of the creation, which Yahweh created unto this time, neither shall be. Verse 20 is the point right here. And except the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he had chosen, he has shortened the days. You know? Hey, these times, we're in those times, man. You know, days are getting shorter, but this is all by the way of the Lord Yahweh, which is his name, man, which this world so ignorantly calls God, man. And this world they ignorantly call, you know, his so-called Jesus Christ, that is not his name, man. His name can only be uttered in the Paleo-Hebrew, which his name is Yahushua, man. Hey, we gotta bring out the facts, man. We gotta bring out the truth, man, because this world just wants you to be in a delusion, man. They just want to keep you asleep. You know, I'm gonna go to the book of Ephesians. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5. Alright, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15, and it reads, See them that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. You know, we in these times of evil, man, so hey, you're not supposed to be out here, you know, being in a foolish state, man. You know, just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You know, we see Jakes, you know, doing those team takeovers, man. You know, the apostles and others have said, man, do not go into large gatherings right now, man. You know, do not go anywhere where you don't need to be, man. You know, like the brothers have, the apostles and others have been saying, you know, the brothers, man, get in and get out. Do what you're supposed to do and get the fuck on out, man. Go home. It's better to do nothing right now in these times, man. And because we know the mirth is at a high time right now, man. No, mirth is at a high time right now, man. Hey, but the Lord said, hey, be vigilant, man. Keep an eye out on what's happening. Don't be indulging in the flesh like these people. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is, man. You know, we got to understand what this is his will, man. And we got to take instruction from the elders and apostles, man, and the brothers, man, that have the understanding. Hey, this is our playbook right here, man. That's why I said you got to study to show thyself approved, man. You got to study to know the times that we're in. So you're not out here in like a deer within the headlights, man. You know, roughly, how people in the world say, it's a lot of people, not roughly paraphrasing, how people in the world say, you can't get caught up out here like a deer in the headlights, man. Because, man, hey, it's shit about to get wicked out here, man. Let's go to First Peter 5 and 8. Get down real quick. First Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. This is the point right here, verse 8 on down. It reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And it's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Hey, just another thing too, man. I got stopped yesterday too by these cops, man. I was riding my bike. I just got done from the gym. You know, I just got done working out from the gym. And man, you know, you know, at first the cop was like, man, can I search you? I was like, no, you can't search me, man. You know, I got kind of, got a little like hyped up, man. But then, hey, that precept came to my mind. Agree with thine adversary, man. You know, walk circumspectly, but not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil, man. You know, I didn't want the fool to search me, but I was like, man, you know what? Hey, go ahead. You can pat me down. I don't have to czar. I mean, the one y'all watching me outside, you know, he didn't, do no extra shit, and, I let him search me, whatever, do his thing. Ultimately, he took a picture of me and my bike. Hey, but I know that the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai had my back with all that, man. Like, man, I was kind of irked in the spirit, of course. But then, hey, the scriptures say agree with the adversary, man, because then he had let me go. And then this devil was like, man, you should be a cop, Then like he's like, man, he's just the way you are, man. I can tell you can be a good cop. But hey, fuck that shit, man. Yahweh Shemi Shai, hey, these slick devils, man. He was saying, oh, I can put in a good word for you, man. He's like, we need people like you. I'm like, what you mean by that? He's like, man, you look like you're in good shape, you're well spoken, you're calm, man. I was like, hey, but that's not for you, man. I'm not finna be a centurion, man. I don't have to the Lord don't put that spirit on me, Hey, gotta remain humble in this thing, because hey, the Lord can do anything, man. The Lord's power, like I said, you can't put the Lord's power in a box. But I just thought that was weird how Esau, he was an Edomite too, man, the so-called white man. How he tried to recruit me into being, into being a cop, man. Eventually he had to let me go. He's like, all right, man, I'll see you in the academy in a few weeks. Like, nigga, in a few months. Man, shut your bitch ass up, bro. Yahweh Shemi Shai, Bashim Kavadash, Babakashah, Babakashah, Shabbat, Bayan to him, bro. That shit kind of, I was just laughing, like, what the fuck? Like, this Edomite, like it. I don't want to get off topic, man, but hey, just a little testimony, man, itself. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. Verse 9, who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in their brethren that are in the world. Hey, our brethren are going through the same things, man. We getting stopped by these cops, man. We getting asked questions all the time. They looking at us with a strange eye, man, with the evil eye, man. That's why it says we gotta watch, be wise but not as fools, man. Verse 10, but Yahweh by Shemi Shai of all grace, who hath called us unto his Salakia, but the power Yahweh of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. After that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle now. Hey, what's that one scripture roughly paraphrasing? Let me see if I can get it real quick. It's in the book of Romans. Probably close on out with this one, man, I found it real quick. Revelation is in my mind, man. It's the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with them, that we may be glorified together, man. And hey, we're, through these things, man, we're suffering together, man. All the brothers are going through different walks and different lives, but we're all suffering, through Yahweh Shemi Shai, And it reads, I'm gonna close on out, man. My dad just got here, bro. It's all good though. They gotta see, man. Romans 8 and 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in them. But with that, I'd like to give our praises. I'd like to turn to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Hey, Shalom, my camp. I hope this camp session was edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom. How to get out of here, man, you know.